the governor of the great state of Indiana, Eric Holcomb.
I feel like putting my jammies back on and going to bed. Wow. You know, Bobby reminded us that life is not always fair. I used to say I was reminded of that fact when I had my mother as a third grade teacher. That's when I said I learned life wasn't going to always be fair, but following Bobby every year, that is not fair. My goodness, maybe I can buy some time for Mayor Hogsett to rewrite his remarks. But what a way to start the day with you all and welcome you back home again to Indiana with obviously 4,000 or so of us in this room, and which means there's about 30,000 maybe still in jammies in their bed, but also around the city, and I understand over 100,000 live streaming this around the world, 50 different nations represented here. This kind of marks officially for us in the state of Indiana that spring is here, and the city of Indianapolis isn't going to sleep for a week. We simply do. When you gavel out and adjourn, we look forward to the next year and the next year and the next year, and we've been just so proud to host you all. Just a room full, really a city-size room full of real-life heroes. We've been doing it for the last 23 years, and I would say from this very podium right now that we look forward to hopefully hosting your centennial celebration, and then 23 years beyond that. Because we simply could not, it would be impossible to be more proud and or more grateful for the men and women in this room and for all of those brothers and sisters that you're representing back home. Because it's you all, and Bobby just said this, who answer that call in a nanosecond, saddle up, and run into it when 99% of us won't or don't. And that's why it's not an overstatement or pandering to say that we revere you and we trust you, as you see on bumper stickers, with our most precious cargo. So no matter what country or state that you patriotically call home, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I thank my lucky stars that when the flood comes or the tornado hits or the cars collide or the fires blaze, it doesn't take you 9 minutes and 11 seconds to answer that 911 call, not even on 9/11. So let me just close very quickly with three quick thoughts before you do hear from our capital city's mayor. First, if you're getting a tour from our state fire marshal, Jim Greason, who has served multiple governors here in the state of Indiana, if you're getting a tour of downtown, there's so much to see in our downtown area here. Or maybe you're getting a tour from my friend Tom Hannafy. I don't know of anyone, he's the union president here in the state of Indiana. I don't know of anyone that's counseled more governors over the years in our state than Tom Hannafy, or maybe from the president of our Volunteer Firefighters Association, Paul Holcomb, who, depending on the day, may or may not claim me as family. I would encourage you to wander up a couple blocks north to our State House. And inside our State House, in the center of our state, in the rotunda, so in the center of that building, there is a plaque memorializing all the firefighters that we have lost in the line of service and duty going back all the way to the 1870s. It is literally in the center of our conversation on a daily basis. And I don't need a reminder, but it is a reminder for all of us who work in that building, for all of those who visit that building, including fourth graders on an annual basis that come to our State House. It is a stark reminder of what you do and why you do it, how you do it. It is a reminder to me that there is no more noble cause than for someone to be willing to lay down their life for others so that they do not have to. That's how we start our day every day when we walk through that building. We walk by that plaque and those names. And secondly, I want to thank you for the purpose that you're here, and that is to constantly seek excellence and improvement and aspire to take it to the next level, so to speak. I was thinking about 23 years ago when you first came here, what the equipment some of you were using looked like and how it operated. And I can't imagine what equipment will be 23 years from now. So thank you for always leaning into that as well. And lastly, I would just encourage you all to tip your bartenders generously. Have a great week, and I will see you same place, same time next year, if not before. God bless. Thank you all very much.
The Mayor of the City of Indianapolis, Joe Hogsett.
Okay, nobody has any idea that I'm out here who are running this thing. But I wanted to stop him real quick. I'm going to give him all his time. But this is the real deal. This is the best damn mayor in the United States, bar none. Love you, brother. Now I got to go take a shower.
You know, I love Bobby Halton. But the truth is, I love the governor of Indiana, Eric Holcomb, more than I do Bobby Halton. For years, I had to follow Bobby Halton. Now our governor does. God bless his soul. So it's Halton, Holcomb, Hogsett. That lineup, once again. 2 Hoosiers, 1 New Yorker. In other words, 2 guys who can play basketball and 1 guy who can talk about basketball. Well, good morning to all of you and welcome. Welcome once again to the Fire Department Instructors Conference in the great city, I'm biased, in the great city of Indianapolis, in the great state of Indiana. And I want to take just a moment, because you'll hear from him in just a moment, to acknowledge our fire department chief here at IFD, Chief Ernie Malone, a great leader for the fire service in Indianapolis. If this is the first time that you have visited Indianapolis, as our governor, I think, mentioned, I want you to get out. I want you to enjoy our city when you're not in this conference. I want you to spend a lot of money. Just don't enjoy it too much. As you venture out, I think you will find a humble, a grateful, and a thriving city. A city which is honored and proud to have you here every year, and particularly this year. A city that recognizes and acknowledges that every morning, every firefighter in this country and so many others wakes up, puts on a uniform, and silently acknowledges a very important something. And that is, as Bobby, as eloquently as anyone can put it, that if and when that moment comes, the firefighter is prepared to lay down their life, to lay their life on the line for a person or persons they've never met. The city of Indianapolis, I hope you will find, appreciates that, honors that, reveres that. For firefighters, every day, you accept and you acknowledge that fact. For firefighters, every day, it is a part of what is ordinary. And it is precisely because it is ordinary to you, it is extraordinary to me and to the people I represent in this great city. What I said before merits repeating. My city, Indianapolis, is proud and is honored to have each and every one of you here with us. On behalf of a city that is forever grateful for your service, let me take this moment to thank you and offer you the warmest welcome I can to a city that appreciates the extraordinary service that you render to your city, to your people, to those who you represent, to those who you are willing to put your life on the line, even though you know them not. May God forever bless you, your families, your fire service, and firefighters everywhere. Welcome to the city of Indianapolis.
the Chief of the Indianapolis Fire Department, Ernest Malone.
Well, good morning. I'd like to thank the governor and the mayor for those kind words. And I would also like to thank all of you for being here. On behalf of the 1,300 men and women of the Indianapolis Fire Department, it is my pleasure to welcome you again to Indianapolis. We are honored to have you here, and we could not be more proud to be hosting the Fire Department Instructors Conference here in our city for an amazing 24th time. While you are here, please consider yourself part of our firefighting and emergency services family. Those who proudly serve our great city are eager to assist you in any way. If we can be of service during your visit, please just ask, and I'm sure we'll find a way to make your stay here an enjoyable, educational, and rewarding experience. The Indianapolis Fire Department is a performance-driven, full-service, all-hazard mitigation agency. Our organization's mission is to save lives, protect property and the environment, while serving our community with courage, commitment, and compassion. Our promise is to provide CPR, and in our organization, that means we will be courteous, professional, and respectful in all that we do. I would be remiss if I did not ask you to help me recognize the 294 firefighters on duty protecting us while we are here. Please give them a hand. Assure you they deserve it. As you make your way through the city of Indianapolis, you may pass fire stations and fire equipment. I want you to know that each time you see a man or a woman proudly wearing the IFD uniform, you are seeing a public servant who is highly trained and deeply committed to keeping you safe while you're here. We truly embrace the sentiment that at IFD, it's our family serving your family. Indianapolis is an outstanding community with a world-class fire department that has served this city for over 160 years. Our department has 43 stations divided into 7 strategically placed battalions with the following 4 functional bureaus: administration, operations, logistics, and community risk reduction. You know, each year I just repeat to you that FDIC is such an amazing event. I believe one of the best things about FDIC is that it's been developed with a common sense approach. This approach seeks to enhance the skills of firefighters not only in our traditional roles, but in preparing us for the challenges we will face in an ever-changing world tomorrow. Regardless of how many years we have in this service, we are all students of this game. I believe that it is important for us to remember this morning that many of the policies, practices, and techniques, the improvements we made, the ones we now employ, were born out of tragedies. They were born from the sacrifice of men and women who gave their lives trying to save others. Too often, that effort changed to us trying to save our own. You see, as firefighters, we will keep our promise, and we will honor our oath. Our countries, our states, our cities, and towns endure in those who keep us safe. Our duty to protect our community has not lessened, nor has it gotten any easier for us. It continues to grow in complexity, hazard, and risk. As firefighters, we must be up to this challenge every day, every shift, and every time. The people we serve are depending on us, and I know we will not let them down. I would like to offer a special note to those of you here that are officers or aspire to be officers. While much of what we do is data-driven, we must remain people-focused. Every action, or inaction for that matter, has an effect on a human being, either our community or our firefighters. Now, it is accurate to say that based on your promotion, You have position, title, authority, rank, and even influence. But I caution you that you do not automatically have the respect of the men and women that you serve. That you will have to earn. You will earn it by what you do, not by what you say. Do you engage them, involve them, motivate them, challenge them, and most importantly, do you truly care about them? Oftentimes, what we see in people depends mainly on what we look for. In my opinion, being a leader has everything to do with them and very little to do with us. Maybe you should listen more than you talk. You just might learn something about your people, and for that matter, about yourself. It has been said that courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to be still and sit down and listen. To truly lead people, maybe we should try standing behind them. Displaying humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. If one were to look at the many agency titles for those like you who are charged with the oversight of other people, we would see such terms as owner, supervisor, manager, commissioner, director, commander, etc. You may have noticed that I didn't use the term leader. I hope you did. You almost certainly are company officers, a great accomplishment to be sure. But being promoted does not make you a leader, nor does putting on your new helmet or your shiny new collar bars or bugles. Your future as a leader in our profession can only be determined by you and the firefighters you guide, protect, and serve. When I speak to the officers in our organization, I often remind them that I don't want them to lead by showing examples of their power. What I'm asking them to do is lead by showing and displaying the power of their example. Making a few mistakes now and then is better than continuously faking perfection. We don't have to be perfect to inspire others. Let's hope that we inspire others in how we deal with our imperfections. Yes, you may have been promoted and assigned as their superior officer, but make no mistake, they will decide if you are their leader or not. Don't let being promoted change who you are. Instead, let it reveal who you are. Don't just show them the big picture. I ask that you let them help you draw it. Stick to the process or goal and stay focused and committed. Don't give up just because it gets hard. If you've been around a while, you know it will get hard at times. Throughout our existence, many things in life have seemed impossible until somebody did it. Every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. Many of us never run far enough on our first win to find out that we have a second. We tend to judge others by their behavior and ourselves by our intentions. Please stay positive and don't be afraid to show your passion for this job that you've heard so much about this morning that we all love. Others will feed off of that enthusiasm and energy. On occasion, we may need to get people help. We may need to help people solve a problem. I want you to stay away from negative people as much as we can. We embrace everyone, but negative people seem to have a problem for every solution. Remember, there are choices you have to make in nearly everything you do. So keep in mind that the choices you make will ultimately make you. Years from now, make sure that you can say that you chose your life. You didn't settle for it. Maybe this whole leadership journey isn't so much about becoming anything. Maybe it's more about unbecoming everything that isn't you. Then you can start being the person you were meant to be in the first place. Our fear should not be of failure, but maybe at succeeding at things that don't really matter very much. One day we will all be a memory to the people we are charged with leading and protecting. I say let's do our best to be a good one. I am honored to be the chief of such an outstanding progressive fire department as IFD. I believe the professional manner in which the men and women of this city conduct themselves is second to none, and I am so very proud to serve with them. Please feel free to visit any of our 43 fire stations and enjoy the hospitality of your fellow sisters and brothers. Indianapolis has a variety of restaurants and attractions available to you in both our downtown and surrounding areas. Make sure to stop by our Fire Museum at Local 416's newly renovated Union Hall. We're having that celebration on Friday afternoon. Take a chance and look at our history and maybe even enjoy a cold beverage. Finally, I would like to thank you all for what you are willing to do every day. The term fire department doesn't adequately describe what we do. The duties, roles, and responsibilities charged to members of today's public safety agencies involve so much more. Please commit yourself to passing on the knowledge and experience you gain while attending this great conference. We must pass that on to your other members of your community and members of your agency that weren't fortunate enough to be here. It is our responsibility to continue the development of our incumbent members and to pave the way for the next generation of firefighters. I'd like to leave you with this thought, folks. During the day today, please stop and take a moment to ask yourselves what is really important to you. After thinking about it, whatever it is for you, then have the courage to build your life around your answer. There is no passion to be found in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. I'm not one who believes that we can go back in time and start a new beginning, but I am a strong believer that anyone can start today and make a new ending. I often think of firefighters who came before us, the struggles they had, the strides they made, the good they did, and the lives they led. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. It is our work and our commitment to this profession that will continue to make ours a great service. The International Fire Service is comprised of many organizations that have very proud histories and traditions. I believe that those of you here today clearly demonstrate by your willingness to seek additional training opportunities in an attempt to better yourselves. I believe you clearly show that this fire service generation has the heart to keep that tradition and the ability to protect our communities. Thank you very much and enjoy the conference.